What's going on, guys? That game made by WB. You might be wondering why I'm saying it like this, because I don't know if I can use the S word on YouTube. YouTube's been very strict here recently on how you go about things. This particular game, I love the old Batman games, so I'm not really attacking it on the standpoint that a lot of other people did. A lot of people in the industry, they wanted another Batman game. They didn't want what we got now, Kill the Justice League. They didn't want that. They wanted more of an aspect on Batman revisiting, fighting the same people, I guess. I'm with you guys. I think that would have been a fantastic experience, but it's not what we got. This game, in my opinion, is one of the biggest clout chasing moves that I feel the gaming industry has went towards. I feel that the gaming industry is more about trends than anything else. They're not trying to originate anything themselves. They're trying to shoehorn other people's successful games into their model. People saw stuff like Fortnite, GTA 5, the battle royale genre in general. Remember the hero shooter genre? That didn't live too long. People tried it. I remember Battleborn. That kind of flipped pretty quick. My point is like when it comes to these trend chasing, I feel like until these companies feel more comfortable with what they're doing instead of looking about what other people do, it's okay to be inspired by someone. And I feel like we have seen a lot of games that's took in a formula and they built it and they've made it their own. I would say Apex Legends is one of those. Put in the comment section below what one that you guys would consider. There's a lot of aspects in gaming that I feel like people have done a good job implementing into their games. But then I feel like there's a lot of publishers in the industry that over there, they look at that GTA 5 money. They're like, oh, we want that. But they don't have a GTA 5 product. They don't have a Fortnite product. So what they do is they try to force it on you. They try to force battle passes on you when essentially you don't need a battle pass in games. They try to enforce all of these random monetization ways into their game, knowing that the game really doesn't need it. S Squad, Kill the Justice League, is a prime example of a company seeing how well games as a service is doing to a degree. They see games like Destiny, Warframe making all this money, and they're like, we can get a bite of that too. But at the end of the day, Batman does not translate very well into the games as a service. I'm not saying that they couldn't have done it. I'm just saying that they didn't think of a way of doing it. There was a PvP mode that was based on Batman characters. I don't know what it is. Put it in the comment section below if you guys know what it is. It's like Arkham Imposters or something like that. I remember that doing very well. And I remember people loving that game. So maybe you could have looked into something more in those areas. But to me, it's not necessarily about that. I feel like these publishers want quick money fast. And they chase these trends when they're already at their height, and by the time the game comes out, no one's trying to deal with those trends anymore. I would say Battle Royale is one of the exceptions. I feel like if you would have started during the PUBG days, and as long as you made a good Battle Royale, it would have done mildly successful. I, for one, think that Halo Infinite should have had a Battle Royale. You don't have to play it. I think it should have been just part of the game, and the story and the arena is other aspects of the game, and none of them are looked over in a bigger pie, for say, than the others. I think it all should have been, equally as important in the game. But S Squad needs to, Warner Brothers in general, after Gotham Knights, now S Squad, Marvel Avengers, stop games as a service. Stop putting it in everything. We don't need it in everything. Be happy with the millions of dollars you could have made on making S Squad, Kill the Justice League, a good game. Because when I see the story looks solid. Like, this is originally was supposed to be a different type of game, and they pivoted trying to get more money in the long run. Sometimes you don't need money throughout the next 6 months, 6 years. Sometimes you could take that money you make just off of that one game, reinvest it. Sure, you might not make as much money as a games as a service, but guess what? Not every game is supposed to be as a games as a service, and I feel like a lot of the industry are lacking behind on that. I feel like they just look at the Fortnites and say, why can't we make that kind of money? Because you don't have a Fortnite product. You don't have a GTA 5 product. Build what you build now successfully. Rocksteady has arguably been one of the most beloved studios as long as I can remember. And now, because of this game, I don't know what it's going to rate. I don't know exactly what's going on. They just recently started letting people on the game. There was no like media advantage or anything like that. So I'm just looking at this aspect and I'm just like, if you would have just let them make a game, even could have been same concept, just take away games as a service, you could have got a solid experience switching back and forth between all of the characters, doing the exact same thing, just taking a better approach with it because you could have changed the gameplay. That's my only gripe with this game. When I was playing, I didn't like the gameplay. Love the story, love the set pieces they did, just did not like the gameplay. And if you would have just let them, because obviously Rocksteady could have been pushing for this, but for some reason I feel like WB was pushing for this. I might be wrong. Some people can correct me if you have like an article or something in the comment section. But to me, it always feels like the publisher pushing this for the most part. Now, obviously, there's exceptions like Bungie. They equally wanted to do stuff. But as far as S-Squad, Kill the Justice League, I personally feel like it was WB that went for it. And if you would have just let them make a game how they generally make games, could have had the same story, just better gameplay, we would have a different conversation right now. You know, no one's entitled a review code of anything. But even with that being said, when you're not giving companies like IGN one, it does raise flags to some degree. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel about this. I'm very curious to you guys' opinion. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Woo! This is going to be crazy.